All right, so I got a tweet last night that was kicked to me by a guy named Ryan Helly, and is Christopher Bell the new Kyle Larson? He loves the high lane, should be good at Homestead. What do you guys think? And I looked, and Christopher Bell is about to be passed in the points by Matt Kenseth. And my pick to be the new Kyle Larson, because this guy, we've talked about him on the show for a year and a half. He makes the races exciting. He rim rides. He hits the wall. He goes down to the next corner, hits it again. Welcome to Door Bumper Clear, Tyler Reddick.
Yeah, thank you. And I did a good bit of that yesterday, in fact, actually. I hit the wall quite a bit.
I saw you once. You were behind Clint. You were racing him hard, and you guys came through down the front stretch, and I was like, oh, he's already hit the wall in the right rear. And I literally said to Clint, I'm like, hey, that's Reddick behind you, newbie here. Let's not get caught up racing this guy, because you guys had some history earlier in the year. We can get to that in a minute. And I was like, let's just let him go. I was like, because he's going to screw his day up. Well, you never did, man. You kept it hung out all day.
I mean, I think I actually did a little bit. I think my car lost a little bit of speed, probably about 60, 70 laps to go. I actually hit it pretty good. Amazingly, I didn't cut a tire, but I noticed right away just the loss in side force and just that side bite that I'd had all day. So you just can't get away with it like you can in an Xfinity car for sure.
Yeah. So I got to ask you this, and then we'll kick it to these other guys. So Darlington, no practice in a Cup car, no qualifying in a Cup car. Obviously, you'd had two really solid runs in the Xfinity Series car. How does a guy like you come into this racetrack? Because we always hear, race the racetrack, don't make mistakes. Like, you're an aggressive guy behind the wheel, but how do you go into Darlington and have as much speed as you had literally right off the bat? I mean, you ran top 10 all day until you had a problem there at one point. Like, how do you mentally prepare for something like that? Because I saw guys like Custer take it really easy. You're the exact opposite. You're an aggressive guy.
I was just excited for this race. I used to love seeing 2 Darlington races a year. And when I heard we were going to be going here twice in a matter of 3 or 4 days, I mean, I hopped up and I was ready to go. We started working on setups, and Randall already had a pretty good idea and had a pretty good setup. We were good in the Xfinity car there last year, running off the wall. And I thought if I could just get back to running up high and carrying the momentum, especially in these Cup cars with more downforce, less horsepower, it would work. And it seemed to work pretty early on for sure. So we just worked really, really hard on this setup in the simulators whenever they were open back up, and just really getting it dialed in. And even that line, it seemed to find something there through 1 and 2 in the simulator. And I was kind of shocked that it was able to work even in the simulator. And that's kind of what sprung me to jump to it so quick in the race yesterday.
Yeah, we saw guys. Go ahead, TJ.
Well, I was going to say, whoever brought that up to you again, Brett, must not have watched how both the last Xfinity championships were won at Homestead. You know, supposedly the guy running the wall that's supposed to be really good at it, the guy that ran the wall and won the races is Tyler. You know what I mean? I saw what you were doing. There was a few guys doing that there last year, Tyler, you know, that the lane in the 1 there, into 1 and off of 2. Denny's the first one that sticks out to me that kind of would use it quite a bit. But yeah, man, I mean, if you could just take it down, you know, maybe the tiniest bit. Impressive run from the beginning, though, man. Just a very impressive run for a place like that to be around, Cup guys coming off Phoenix, where you had a solid run going there too. So people can say they're surprised by your success so far, but I'm not personally very surprised by how well you're doing in it. I think you're very good at running the wall and figuring it out up there. That's where a lot of people can't go and find speed right now. So you're taking full advantage of it. But Phoenix was the opposite, man. You can't. There was no wall to run at Phoenix, and you still managed to pick your way to the top 5-ish there and do good. So yeah, if I was spotting for you, I would be telling you to go ahead and back it down a notch.
Yeah.
I've worked with Tyler back when he drove for Brad. I think from your very first race, right?
Yep, sure did.
ARCA race at Daytona,
yeah.
And then
poor you. Oh my gosh, you had your hands full.
Tyler,
Well, once
thanks
you
for
figure
coming
it
on
out-
our show and listening to TJ talk the whole time.
TJ,
Yeah, absolutely.
TJ, can
Hey,
you kiss his ass this much? You realize he doesn't drive for Penske, right? I mean, I know he has a tie to Brad, but you realize he runs at RCR. You shouldn't be kissing his ass this much. I don't know.
Well, hey, man, he's doing well. And this is nothing that me and Brett have said this before, though. We said he was going to be good. And
Yeah.
it's not
Tyler,
really a surprise to us.
can you like just it's hard to can you put into words how are you guys so much better at running the top? I know Bubba talks about you can feel a little bit of cushion when you get up there and but you see the dirt guys excel at it. Can you best you can put into words why you guys are so much better at it?
I don't know. Normally, at Homestead, an Xfinity car, I've noticed it at California. When you get up right by the fence, you can feel that cushion. But I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily searching for the cushion at Darlington as much as trying to get your right sides a little bit of that clean racetrack, or just trying to open up your eggs a little bit of the corner. It seems to help. At Darlington, I really couldn't feel the wall that much, to be quite honest with you. But I don't know. It's just a feel. And two, as soon as somebody starts to come off the wall a little bit and you see a little tunnel open up, you just can't help but mash the gas wide open and try and fill it. I guess that's some of it too. I just like passing people on the top. That might be a lot of it, honestly.
You could see early in the race, guys like Newman and even Priest and a couple other guys were really making the bottom of 1 and 2 work. And I think it was just a matter of staying below the rubber. And then eventually you were the one, I think, that went up there first and got kind of above the rubber and clean racetrack and maybe away from them bumps in 1 and 2 and really were able to make that top come in.
Yeah, it's an odd little wrap there off of 2. You think you're as you're going into 2 wide open, you're just gonna nail the fence off of turn 2, but it's just the way the banking kind of wraps you there. It almost has the feeling of landing into turn 1 at Charlotte. It just hooks the car around. It just seemed to work. I don't really think there's any secret to it. It's just just trying to find some clean racetrack and open the exit up.
How many cars did
You're
you pass
not
yesterday?
you're not afraid to hit the wall, are you? You're not you don't go into
No.
a race afraid to hit the wall.
I mean, I was a little afraid to hit the wall yesterday, but unfortunately, the first time I hit the dang wall, I was hitting it going into turn 3 behind Chase Elliott because I couldn't see where the heck I was on the racetrack. I could not get around Chase Elliott yesterday. He was hard to pass, but drove it straight in the fence the first time, down the straightaway. In typical fashion, I did that at Homestead too.
Does it piss you off? Because I saw you catch Chase Elliott, and the minute you caught him, he moved up to take your line away. Like when you see guys moving up, knowing that they're taking away your line, and you're the only guy out there ripping that top, like does it piss you off a little bit?
No, because if I'm in their spot and someone's that much faster in a different line like that, I got to try it and figure it out too. What was frustrating is he did find a little more speed up there, but we were still better than he was for a good bit. But either I burned my stuff up or he truly did find more. I don't know. But it is aggravating at times, but that's part of racing. I mean, if I just expect the guy to just let me go uncontested, I mean, that's not really exactly what we're trying to do out here either. So, yeah, it stinks. It kind of slowed us down as we were charging back to the front, but I can't really be upset about him doing that. I mean, he's got to try and do the best he can for his race. He eventually got way back up into, I think, 4th or 5th there at the end of the race. So he did what he had to do to make his event go the way it needed to and have a good showing for himself.
I thought you gambled, not by you coming into the series as a rookie. I thought you gambled coming into the series, into an organization that hadn't had a lot of speed the last few years, and bringing a rookie crew chief, because I've seen a lot of guys going back to Greg Biffle. Like Biffle's this badass, and he comes up, he brings his truck crew chief with him, and they get the cup, and it takes them a hot minute to get going. You're overachieving. You're overachieving. Your team's overachieving. You're outrunning the 3 car. You got a lot more speed than the 3 car. How did it come about that was going to be your crew chief? Was that a Richard decision? Mike Dillon, Andy Petrie? How much say did you have in it? Because I honestly thought you guys were making a mistake.
I didn't really have to say much. I mean, we just showed it in our chemistry. We showed it in how we worked together at the shop, at the racetrack. And I think Randall showed everybody at the shop just by how hard he worked and his approach to the race weekends and where he wanted the cars for myself and us as a team. He's a good leader. He does a really good job. And actually, I mean, in a way, I guess this will be, I think, his first full year as a crew chief in the Cup Series. But he's got some experience with AJ Allmendinger over when he was at the 47. They had some good speed at times in that car, so he knows what he's doing. And he was over at Ganassi as an engineer back when Juan Pablo Montoya was driving that car, and with Jamie McMurray through those years he won the Brickyard and Daytona 500. So he's got experience. He's been around the guys. We got paired together. It was just good for him and good for me. We just get along great, have similar backgrounds, both love dirt late models. So we come from similar backgrounds and we both get along really well together. And I think chemistry is a big part of it too.
I can tell you firsthand that I think, Tyler's already improved our performance as a whole. You know what I mean? Just in yesterday's race alone, I look back, we honestly had a running joke last year. We'd have shop photos, and it was our 4 RCR Alliance cars on the same straightaway where it's Austin, Ty, Bubba, and Daniel last year. And we'd all be within a half a straightaway of each other and running, 18th to 25th, something like that all day long. Where yesterday we had that same issue where it was the 3, the 43, and the 13 all together, and Tyler was up there running 7th or 8th, and we just I know we were focused a lot on Tyler's SMT and trying to help Bubba with, what he was doing in his car and where he was running the racetrack. And, we were still a little too free at the end to make a lot of headway, but we still ran top 20 all race. We ended up 21st. Austin made good improvements throughout the race. He got up in the 11th position or so towards the end. I don't know if we ended up, but he got better as the race went on, so I'm assuming they were doing a lot of the same stuff. So you see already the improvement that's coming with Tyler. And it's just a matter of getting up there and ripping it, man. It's impressive.
Yeah, getting that track position and keeping it was the key at Darlington. I feel like at one point in that race, I was sitting back and we mentioned racing Chase Elliott hard. If I could have just passed him or just had that one money stop that he did, I'm looking at being 6th instead of 10th, and the whole race changes. And that really brought it to me is just got to execute all day long. Got to watch out for wall banners coming off the fence and not getting them stuck on your nose either.
I want to hear your take on that. I got 2 more questions. One of them is about that. So the racetrack is coming apart. The wall banner is coming apart. It's affecting various drivers' day, and it's affecting it in large ways. When that happens, what should NASCAR do, if anything?
Well, if it wouldn't go to the point of affecting our car's balance as much as it does, I'm all for just staying green. But, when I saw it on Denny's car, I really just thought Denny had slowed down. I didn't realize it was hurting his car's performance as much as it was. When I saw it come flying off, I saw just a glimpse of it, and I'm like, oh, geez, I caught this thing, whatever. I hope I don't overheat. I went into turn 3 and 4, and I thought I blew a tire. Like, I don't know how I didn't knock the wall down. So, it knocked an incredible amount of speed out of my car. It really felt like I blew a tire. We got off the splitter, and it was just dangling on the right front nose, and we were really, really tight. It was crazy. I could never imagine that it would cause that much performance loss. So, knowing what we do now about it, I think the drivers would be adamant to make a statement and, let them know that, hey, this is really affecting our cars. So they might throw the caution more eagerly now, knowing what they do, or they may just paint them back on for Wednesday. I joked with the NASCAR drivers group me with Steve O'Donnell and all the guys, and they're like, hey, can we go back to painted banners for Wednesday night or painted sponsor signs? So hopefully they'll be painted when we get back there on Wednesday.
This is my last question. We're obviously a spotter podcast. You have Derek Nealon, who left Chip Ganassi Racing, left Kyle Larson. There were a bunch of spotters on the roof that literally were questioning, what is Derek Nealon doing? He's leaving Kyle Larson to go work with a rookie. So you obviously have a veteran spotter, a guy that's won races, been in a lot of races and a lot of series. He's a former driver himself up in Maine. How much has he helped you in the Cup Series, knowing that you got an experienced guy up there?
He's been awesome. I've been lucky to work with some really good spotters. Back when I had
after
zero,
TJ you're talking about?
No, even TJ. I literally had no idea what I was doing on super speedways, and TJ would just tell me, all right, you're going to the bottom, you're going to the top, you're going to block here, pull the side draft. All right, now you're going to pull off. Like, I had no idea what I was doing, but TJ pretty much taught me everything, taught me all the fundamentals. He was very bossy at times too, but that's what I needed. And whenever I got to Chip Ganassi Racing, Derek was just really good about explaining the lines and just telling me the little details that I needed at that point. And whenever we parted ways and I went to Junior Motorsports and had, Earl Barbin, I had a lot of fun with Earl. But I just knew that, me and Derek just had a really good connection there. So when the opportunity opened up for, Derek was available on the Xfinity side, when Ross in the 42 car didn't happen on the Xfinity side, me and Randall both jumped on that to try and get him to do that car. And we just had a lot of good chemistry. Derek loves the guys at RCR. Derek and Randall get along great, and me and Derek get along great. So, I think it's that. Kyle and Derek love each other too. They're really good friends off the track. I think Derek was just ready to mix it up and try something new. And I think so far we're having a lot of fun together. I still piss my spotter off. I still don't listen at times, and he gets frustrated. But we're making a lot of fun out of it.
What a genius Derek looks like now.
TJ couldn't even listen to it. TJ couldn't listen to it anymore. He had to get up and walk away. Hey, yep, there we go.
TJ
Yeah, I
had to
got
go
mine
get his
still.
trophy.
TJ
I got
thinks
mine. You want me to go get mine?
Tyler got me that. We won the truck race in Daytona, and
I got
Tyler
you that. You got me
a truck.
that.
Wow, we traded.
You got me that thing. I didn't know what I was doing out there.
Hey, we won the race. That's all that matters.
Hey, I think the move of the race was that massive side draft we pulled on Ty Dillon in the tri-oval. Remember that when he about wrecked?
When you about pulled him around?
Yes.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
That may have been the move
I
of the
thought we
race.
were wrecking. So yeah, I got one quick question for you. How's fatherhood going?
It's going
I
good.
could listen to this one.
Alexa's over here on the couch. I don't know if you guys could hear Bo. He was a little fussy at times. I don't know. The girls are over there staring at him. They're doing something with him over there. There might be a science project going on. I don't know, but he's a bundle of joy for sure. And it was really weird being at the racetrack for that many hours, no one around, no Bo, no nothing. So he's been a lot of fun the last couple of months.
What's the over under that he's taller than you and your dad?
Oh God, it's not even a competition. The dude's hands are. I mean, he's got Alexa's hands. She probably doesn't want me to say. I mean, she's.
Hey, let me see your hands
He's got
real
long
quick.
fingers.
Sorry, Alexa.
That's
Her
a-
hands
hey.
my hands are
Timmy
she's got some fingers.
Timmy Hill said he had a small unit on here, so you can pretty much say anything you want now. It's free. It's fair game.
I mean, Bo's. I don't know. He seems like a relatively large baby for his age. He's going to be taller than me probably by third grade.
Third
Sorry,
grade.
man. I know the feeling.
Tyler listens to our show a lot. Like, Tyler, I know you told Casey you love our show, but like, why do you listen, honestly? Because I know you got a lot going on during the week.
Well, it's just nice, I guess it's different now this year than it was last year, but back when I was running the Xfinity side, I would miss some details probably through the Cup race, and even now I'll miss probably even more details. But it's always fun to just go back and just catch, someone's different perspective, how their race unfolded, good or bad or indifferent. And just the sense of humor you guys bring, it's just a good podcast. I love it. It's something that when I drive to RCR up on Monday or Wednesdays or Tuesdays, whatever it is, it's just like that perfect amount to just listen to just kind of get me rolled back into racing. And, it's always cool to hear the stories throughout the weekend, what's going on and the stories from past events too.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, man. We're definitely going to have you back on. Go win a race.
I need
Hey,
to.
hey! Everybody that came on here has won a race this year so far, whether it be a fake or real race.
Yeah.
So, get after one here soon.
Well, we're going back to a pretty good place on Wednesday night. Hopefully I can find a little more there.
Good deal, man. We appreciate you coming on, and dude, we'll see you at the racetrack.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.